is liturgical prayer, liturgy of the hours, priestly prayer, and all of those kinds of wonderful things that are unique to the Catholic Church. And so, in a conversation with Craig, our seminarian, he said that one of the things that he is focusing on in his pastoral year here is priestly prayer. What does that mean? How does that look like? How important is that? And what could we learn about that from him? And so he graciously offered to come to one of our classes. I'm sick that I'm not going to be able to be here the whole time, but I'm going to listen to the first part. And I trust that you will be your wonderful selves, and you won't tell me any stories. So without further ado, I'll introduce seminarian Craig.
Well, the way I wanted to start it out, it's always nice to hear a little bit about the person who is speaking to you, to know why should I listen to them. So, I'm Craig DeYoung, as Debbie was saying. I'm a seminarian for the Diocese of Austin. I'm part of the parish here, and my pastoral year is part of my formation. So I'm currently in my 5th year of seminary. And before that, I was 5 years at Texas A&M, where I received a degree in industrial distribution, so a mix of engineering and business, which has maybe a little to do with prayer, but I spent a lot of time praying there, because it's there that I came into the Catholic Church. As my first time kind of getting a dose of religion. I was baptized as a child, so I had the grace of baptism, but then wasn't raised in the faith. And by the time I got to college, essentially speaking, I was agnostic. I believed generally there was some sort of God out there. I wasn't sure which God. I wasn't really too sure that I cared. I called myself a Christian, but I had no idea what that curtailed, what that meant. And so during my time at A&M, I had a very large conversion experience. And about 1.5 years after I began my studies there, I ended up coming to the Catholic Church and entering the church. And that took a lot of prayer, a lot of learning what prayer is. And then more than that, when I started discerning whether or not I was called to the priesthood, it also took a lot of prayer. And so the question that I struggled with in my call to the priesthood is, what does it mean to have a pastor's heart? What does it mean to have a priestly heart? You think about it, the way I think about it is taking on the Sacred Heart of Christ, the Sacred Heart of Jesus, to become your own heart, to have that sort of heart for other people. And so the prayer comes out of that place, right? So prayer is relational, as you've probably learned in some of the early classes. And so this class this evening, I'm hoping it'll be less of me just speaking and more of a dialogue where you guys can participate, ask questions certainly, but also I would share your thoughts and your experiences with prayer and what you've learned in this class over the past period of time. And so what I would like to do is start just by going around the room and learning your names, maybe a little bit about who you are, so we can start forming a relationship. So we'll begin in this side of the room here.
I'm Natalie Hans, Cradle Catholic, A&M, Industrial Distribution, but I did not know him. We were there at different times. Let's see. I've always been fascinated by the church. I've always been an active Catholic as far as my faith goes. And then last semester with Jesus is Lord, it really, something clicked. And so now I've actually developed a personal relationship with God and all that. So this has been a great lead on to last semester.
Good. And that's a good place to begin. Where are you at right now in your faith journey, your prayer life even perhaps? So that's a great place to start. Thank you for starting with us, Natalie. So, good.
My name is Rosa Dieterville. Let's see, I have 2 children, which are married to seminarians, Sakani, and I've been married for 26 years. Right now, at this point in my life, I am discerning the shirt, Christ Renews His Parish, and catechist here at the Catholic Church here in St. William's. Been a bishop for 5 years now, and pretty much that's it.
Okay. Thank you, Rosa.
Oh.
You can say something too, since you're here.
I'm Sagani. This is my mom. I just turned 17, and right now I'm trying to find myself in the church. I'm trying to open up my doors, to Christ to come into my heart. So.
Beautiful. Thank you.
My name is Lorraine Fernandez. I'm a member of the Catholic Church in St. Williams in 1998. I was raised in Lutheran. And I
think church is what started me to be more serious about my relationship with Jesus.
Good, thank you. Sir? Steve?
We're going
Generally,
on.
bigly across the spectrum.
I'm Stephen George. My wife and I have been with the parish for quite a long time. With 3 kids, and I guess, spent a lot of time getting them through our age and all this, being there for them and everything else. And finally realized, oh, hey, it's time for me to get involved and learn some books and stuff. So I started off with Jesus is Lord, and gotten interested and been attending a lot of classes and just keep learning.
Good, thank you, Steve.
I'm Vicki Wells. I am a new Catholic, probably 2.5 years. I listened to relevant radio for about 5 or 6 years, and then I came to St. William's. And then I decided, I started thinking about becoming a Catholic, and my husband, we've been married for 25 years. He was a Catholic, but a non-practicing Catholic when we got married, and then he decided to come to Christ with me for our wedding. And we both joined the church, and we both became Catholic 2 years ago.
Wonderful, excellent.
So I'm still learning.
That's
I
exciting.
have
Well,
a
me
lot to
too.
learn.
Yeah. 8 years, it's my 8th year as a Catholic right now, so
Yeah.
I'm still learning, even as a seminarian, so.
I'm curious about I'm sure we'll have a chance for questions, but I'm curious about how you were called or how you heard the call, because I never heard the call.
Mhm.
I felt like it was more of a nudge, and
Right.
it took a long time
Usually
for me.
much more subtle,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
I hope you'll share.
If we have time at the end, I'll share a little bit more of my story.
I'm Cindy Messner. I'm a cradle Catholic. Went to all through Catholic schools, all the way up through high school, but I didn't get it. And as soon as I kind of got out of high school, drifted away, married a non-Catholic. Then after September 11th, we kind of started going back to church after that, when we realized, hey, we're going to die someday. We better get your life in order a little bit. So we started going to church and sitting there week after week, and I met a neighbor who is evangelical and used to talk about her faith a lot, about her love for Jesus, and I knew I didn't have that. I mean, I knew who Jesus was, and I knew all that, but I didn't feel like I had the relationship that she had. So, power of prayer. She prayed over me, or we said a prayer together, some kind of a prayer, anyway. But during the prayer, I submitted to God. Whatever you want, Lord, I want to know you, I want to love you. During this prayer, I was doing that. And it changed my life. I mean, I had a Wizard of Oz experience, where the next day, everything was like before in black and white, and then everything was in color. So, anyway, power of prayers, I got the Holy Spirit that day.
You're in the right class then, right?
So, ever since then, I've just come to church and tried to spend my time up here.
Thank you.
I'm Ross Messner. I'm the non-Catholic who became a Catholic. Let's see, in Easter Vigil of 2007. So, and for 35 years, I've tried to turn my wife into a saint.
That says it all, right? Good, thank you.
I'm Barb, and I'm Cindy's mother. And I was raised as a Lutheran, very strong in our faith then. But when I met my husband, who was Italian and Catholic, I wanted the type of family that went to church together like our family did. And so I decided to take the classes to become Catholic. I guess we wanted our kids in Catholic schools, but we weren't. My husband was on the road a lot, and it was up to me to take everybody to church, and I really didn't get the job done like you're supposed to. So We didn't go except on holidays and holy days. That was basically what we did then. Then, 3 years ago, my daughter and my son-in-law brought me down to Texas to join and live with them and get stronger in the faith like that.
Beautiful. Thank you, Barbara. Yeah, that's the name, right? I got it right?
Yes.
Sometimes I'm in trouble.
I'm Maria Salazar, and sorry I've been away a few weeks. But I'm also cradle Catholic, and when I went to college I thought I got it a little bit, but I really didn't get it. Kind of didn't leave the church, but I just recently am very thankful to St. Williams, here at St. Williams, the parish, it's been wonderful. Started AFF the first class, I guess it was last year, seems like a long time ago, but, and then a church, this last September, that has been a really good thing. So I'm very thankful, and I'm just blessed to be here, and I'm just trying to learn, so
Good.
I'm here.
Oh, wow. I'm Rose, leaving out. I was baptized Catholic and raised a Catholic, but we were in the military, so we were also exposed to a lot of other religions because we use one chapel for the Protestants, Catholics, and Jewish services and masses. So I guess I felt like I was raised kind of ecumenically also. After Vietnam, my dad got into transcendental meditation and some other things to try to recover from being in Vietnam. So there was some negative things that we were exposed to, basically the occult, because that's what transcendental meditation is. So it took some really strong evangelical friends to help us out of that. But my parents remained in the Catholic Church, but we kind of went to some ecumenical things too. I went to a national Catholic university, which I will not name, and sought some guidance because I was getting married and didn't get real good guidance there. But regardless of that, I've been married 27 years to my Lutheran husband who loves the Lord. And that's been a little bit tricky trying to balance that out. But he comes to Mass with me on Saturdays and he goes to his church on Sundays. And I started coming more to AFF and these classes because my son told us in high school that he didn't know if he believed in God. And I was thinking, well, you know, we have to help him. And then I started realizing that the problem is me, that I need to work on me and be a better example. And by my faith, maybe he will be, and by praying for him, that maybe then God will work through other people. So I started focusing on myself instead of trying to convince him and change him. So I pray for him, and I think he's coming along in his own path. So I realized the problem is me, so that's why I'm here.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
That's a long story, sorry.
No, it's